Let me cut that down just a little bit. Mr. Brooks, we had talked briefly yesterday about Fannie Lou Hamer, Aliceville, Alabama, and Quitman 10.
Right.
Can you give me a little overview in terms of we've gone around in a circle, but we have not stopped?
That's right. We're going around in a circle. What goes around comes around. The struggle continues. Fannie Lou Hamer was telling us in 1964 when she organized the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, went to the Democratic National Convention to challenge the makeup of the Mississippi delegation, that this struggle will be long-term. And we can see it now. 1982, Maggie Bozeman, Julia Wilder in Aliceville, Alabama, Pickens County, that case that we had to take to the Supreme Court, led by Dr. Joe Lowry and SCLC, all the way to the federal government, marching from Aliceville to Washington, D.C., to take their case to Ronald Reagan and Congress and the Department of Justice. We could see clearly that there were many in our society who still don't want African Americans to participate in the political process and have real power. And now we see it in Quitman, Georgia, Brooks County, right near Valdosta. The white power structure, the Republican Party primarily, decided that these African Americans have too much power. They've taken the school board. They run the largest budget in the county. They have more influence than we do now. So they had to find a way to come after the Quitman 10 plus 2, and they did. But they didn't think anybody was going to notice. They thought they could get away with it. They thought that they could do this to this little small town group of people. And when they cried out, no one would respond. Well, now they know we do care. We will respond. The Quitman 10 case is really the epitome of voter suppression, voter intimidation. It is the flagship case that everybody ought to watch, because when we talk about how people are abused, how they are harassed, how they are arrested and killed, dying, we think about Syria, we think about Russia, we think about Uganda, we think about Sierra Leone, we think about South Africa, but we don't think about here at home. We have some of the most serious violations here in America than you can imagine anywhere in the world, but we want to ignore it. We want to assume that voter fraud, voter intimidation only occurs abroad on other continents. Well, it's right here. The Quitman 10 case is that case that America should look at, because these people won elections fairly and squarely. As soon as they won, they were rounded up and arrested, and they were taken to jail. They were held for 12 hours, bonded out. Finally, they were indicted. Then they were suspended without a trial, suspended before they were arraigned. And I don't think Americans understand just how serious this is. This is an attack on democracy. This is an attack on democracy. This is an attack on the Voting Rights Act. That's why we have to support the Quitman 10 plus 2, and that's why the Georgia Association of Black Elected Officials and all of our partners are working to free them. We want all of those charges dismissed against them because they are bogus charges. We want the governor to lift his suspension because he has no right to suspend them. They have not been convicted of any crime. They've only been accused. So we have to fight for the Quitman 10 because we're fighting to save the Voting Rights Act. We're fighting for everything that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Ralph Abernathy, C.K. Steele, Fred Shuttleworth, Joseph Lowry, Jose Williams, Andrew Young, Amelia Boynton, John Lewis. You know, we go on and on and on. James Orange. We just think about all those who died. Jimmy Lee Jackson, Marcus Werner, James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, Valo Luzo, Medgar Evers. Just so many people who've died so we could have this precious right. So many people who've died. And if we don't fight for the Quitman 10, it's like their deaths have been in vain. It's like it doesn't really matter that they fought for us and died for us. You know, it's like it don't mean nothing. I just I just can't understand how anybody could sit in America and watch what's happening in our society, particularly the Quitman 10 case, and don't get up and do something. It won't be outrage.